fun and lots of
Yeah,
room to make
exactly.
it sustainable. And as you said, kind of to keep the cultural exchanges going, to keep giving children the opportunity to immerse themselves
Mm-hmm.
in language is so important. But the progress is unbelievable, and it's really brilliant to see that kind of the donations you make and the donations I've made that others have made over the years have really made a massive difference. And
Mm-hmm.
to see the kind of we spoke to some of the children today on their first day back to school, and the level of their English is kind of you can already see that it's better than it was 8 years
Mm-hmm.
ago for kids the same age as well. So that's really promising, and hopefully it will give them so many more opportunities in the future. But obviously it kind of needs that continued support from everyone watching, from everyone listening, and others as well to make sure that it can keep going from strength to strength and be
Mm-hmm.
sustainable
Mm-hmm.
and kind of keep delivering for the kids who are definitely appreciating the work that you're doing here as well.
Cool. Great. So just going a little bit out of what we start talking, because Matilda is here, so we need she to participate in as well, of course. So Matilda, tell us your experience in Brazil. So I know you have been to Rio in the Carnival. How do you feel about Brazilian culture?
Oh, it's awesome. So been here just over a week, I think, and like you say, we spent most of that in Rio at the carnival, which was intense and extremely hot, and just
Extremely hot.
extremely hot. And it was just so much fun, and yeah, I think my first time like properly experiencing Brazilian culture, and it has on every level been a blast. I mean, Rio Carnival is always going to be really good fun, but even throughout, the hosts at the hostel were so lovely. They loved Sam because he could speak Portuguese. Um, and everyone that we've come across has been great. Food is lovely. The drinks are very nice. I had my first caprina,
Mm-hmm.
which was delicious. So yeah, really like it, and excited to see more of Brazil. In Belo Horizonte for a few more days, which would be cool to see because I think
Cool.
I love as much as I liked Rio, it was very busy and filled with so many people. So it's nice to get a bit further afield, I'd say. Yeah.
Cool. Nice. So uh after here, where are you going?
So the plan then is to head down through Ilha Grande and Sao Paulo, and then eventually over to Foz do Iguazu, Argentina,
Good.
Chile, Peru, and Ecuador.
Nice.
So it's a bit of a big, well, it's definitely a big adventure and a big set of travels with a lot of places to see. Just to kind of try things out, see if I remember any Spanish, as I
Okay.
slowly try and remember my Portuguese as well.
And what about the French?
The French is rusty, William.
Yeah.
It's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. It's been
Is it?
useful when we're in France, but you can't ask me about French or Brazil. My brain's already doing two languages.
Ok. Sim, mas então, what do you think, Samuel, about the cultural exchange in October? Because we have been in touch. I told you about this possibility to go to your mom's school and see if you can do the cultural exchange as well. Because this time you want to visit some schools. And do you remember first time we
Yeah.
tried to, but we didn't manage to get the funding. But as we did the first last year, I guess this year gonna be, something which people can see is true. They're not just like pretending, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's true. It's something real. And then, what do you think? And like taking six kids this time, we want to take six. But what do you think, in your perspective, what the children from England can get from this cultural exchange?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think it's sometimes harder to see what you get from the other side of the exchange. There's so much that the kids here will get from going to England
Mm-hmm.
and the language and the culture, but it is an exchange, as you say, and I think schools and students and teachers and
Mm-hmm.
parents
Mm-hmm.
will learn a lot from you visiting again to Manchester and the
Mm-hmm.
area again in England, because you don't learn a lot about Latin America or about Brazil when you're at school in England. You don't learn a lot about Portuguese. You don't learn a lot about the history of Latin America or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we really need to, in our country, probably be a bit more open-minded and see more of the world when we talk
Exactly.
about it, because we talk about kind of the UK's influence on the world historically and presently, but we don't learn too much at school about Brazil, about Portugal, Spain's empire in Latin America, and the history and the
Hmm.
culture, and the music, the food, the pretty much everything that makes up Brazilian culture. So I think it's a really good opportunity for students in England who can have their eyes opened a little bit and see how big the world is, and see how there's other cultures out there that they might want to learn more about. They might want to pick up more and learn more of the language. They might just learn more things, and they might decide they want to visit on holiday one day.
Cool.
And all of that stuff is really, really valuable, I think.
I
Nice.
also think the English kids are probably, in most cases, going to be put to shame by the level of language that the kids from Brazil have learned versus what they're taught, because English schools aren't generally that good at teaching little children foreign languages as well. So I think it'll be a really good opportunity for them to see just how far learning a new language could take them in the world, and hopefully motivate them to learn a little bit more than just English. Because I think English, it's not priority for a lot of the English education system to learn a foreign language,
Hmm.
and hopefully this would spark a bit more interest in the way that it did for you.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, when I was at primary school, I didn't learn any foreign languages. I went on to do a degree in French, Spanish, and Portuguese at university, and I didn't have the opportunity to learn languages when I was at primary school. I learned them from holidays and from parents and
Hmm. Hmm.
from kind of little bits here and there. And I think being exposed to it at a young age is really how you kind of you get an interest, you get a passion, but you also just open your brain up in a way that is, I mean, scientifically proven to be easier to learn a language when you're
Hmm.
a child.
Hmm.
And as Matilda says, that applies not just to children here, that applies to children in England as well. So
Exactly.
it gives more opportunities to children in England
Hmm.
as well.
Hmm.
And it's never a bad thing to learn more about the world, to learn more about different cultures around the place, and to learn kind of acceptance and kind of the diversity of the world. I
Hmm.
think that can only be a good thing for people to learn.
And do you think, because I think is eh, you are talking, I am thinking about this situation, which is sometimes we don't have the right support from the government in Brazil, because I don't know. Sometimes I know a lot of people think, okay, a non-profit organization, they got a lot of money from the government. No, that's not true, because we have to be working hard, struggling to keep uh, the activities going. But it's something sometimes, like as I said, seeing you two talking and having this live now is also a big opportunity for people outside from Brazil see that if you get together, it's possible, to help. That's why I make the question. I know sometimes if people can thinking, no, just Brazilian people, Brazilian kids are getting, but our aim is a real cultural exchange, which for sure we're gonna take something to England, and in an exchange, the kids from there, the people from there, both sides gonna get something.
Mm.
And then thinking about teaching another language, in this case, like going to England and teaching Portuguese to them. So we are helping Brazil in somehow, in some way. We are helping, like promoting the language we speak in Brazil, promoting Brazilian culture, but in the anyway, as I'm saying, sometimes we have to do a fundraising
Yeah,
to raise money to manage to get some kids to do a cultural
yeah.
exchange, which this never would happen. In my time, I could dream about this.
No,
In my time, go outside Brazil through a non-profit organization, impossible. But uh, by doing this, the government should pay attention more about those, because I don't say just behave that way. I guess there is a lot of organization, non-profit organization, not from the government, doing a great work, but sometimes not don't have the right attention.
mm.
So and consequently, a lot of things becomes a bit like far away. A lot of people sometimes we think, oh, it's impossible. But when I spend the time living in Europe, that was my thoughts. That's why I said, okay, I need to make a network, links with universities, organization, you know, diverse and different organization, and invite people to Brazil.
Mm.
So when they go there, they see things happening. So they will say, "That is a real thing. Something really happened here, which is good for the people, you know, because we're not just trying to get more computer heads, those of computer here, or these or instrument, music instrument. No, we're trying to having all those resource here, but providing this for the kids, you know. And if these kids grow up seeing those opportunities, seeing for real that it's real, it's something possible. They can not just think, oh, I gonna go to school when I finish high school. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna find a work as we was talking early this morning. We have to motivate the kids to, you know,
Mm.
keep going, trying to do university, get to university. But as I said, sometimes they don't have the time, you know, they don't have the resource to keep studying, and then when they get in a condition which they have to go to the university, so they're going to compete with people, other children's for middle high class, which
Yeah.
are just studying, it's not working, just studying. So, and then that is one of the aim of BHZ Connection, you know. You want to provide this opportunity for the kids, which they can come here, not just learn language, but they can develop their skills, and they can have the opportunity to, you know, in a simple way, in a natural way, they can develop their skills, you know, in maths, in geography, in language, any subject, history, any subject they decide to study. But if they don't see that this is possible, this is something, you know, which they can touch, they they'll it's gonna make hard, you know. But yeah, thanks once again, you know, after 8 years you here in Belo Horizonte, you know,
It's good to be
out
here.
of Veracruz. It's nice. It's nice.
It's excellent to be here. I mean, as
Yeah.
you said, I think opportunity is the key word. We have an expression in English about keeping doors open. I don't know whether it's the same in Portuguese. I think it is. But and I think we, for the most part, have kind of had opportunities. Kind of, you choose when to close them, which is a very privileged place to be. And I think BHA Connection is brilliant at keeping the doors open for as long as possible, so
Yeah.
that if people come and they have the opportunity to try things that they don't like, they can then close that door themselves rather than have the door closed on them. And I think that's the really good bit about the kind of cultural and societal change that BHA Connection does. And as you say, that kind of by giving children these opportunities, they get to decide their own future. And if they want to pursue something further, then that's brilliant. But all these children should have the opportunity to make that decision. It shouldn't be
Yes,
kind of chosen
exactly.
for them.
Exactly.
And I guess the other thing I was just going to say, to your point about kind of making sure people donate as well, if you're not able to donate, you can also fundraise yourself. So when I volunteered here,
Yeah, yeah, remember
I went for
for the
I learned
the
how to
run.
run, which was a mistake in
That was great.
Brazilian heat through the hills.
Uh-huh.
But I think, yeah, I mean, that was a way to kind of raise a bit more money as well. Without, I didn't have a lot of money at the time as a student as well, so I couldn't help too much directly beyond the teaching and kind of volunteering. So it was a really good way to volunteer to get a bit more money. And then after that, I ran a marathon eventually, a year or two later, and raised a bit more as well, so people can do their own fundraising at home, whether that be in Brazil, in England, or elsewhere in the world as well. Just every little bit chips in and helps out, and it really does make a difference. Like I've seen from coming back how kind of how much progress can be made, but also how much more progress still needs to be made.
Exactly. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Matilda, go on. You need to tell me you went today to Central Mark.
Yes.
So
We went into Central Belo Horizonte. We went up to the viewpoint, which was
Menanche de Mangabeira.
which overlooks the entire city, and it's beautiful. Up through a huge park, and then we went into the city centre and went to the Central Market, which is
Mercado Central. Yeah.
Mercado Central. Yeah.
for some food. which was again lovely. Although as a vegetarian in Brazil, I really rely on some Portuguese translations. Other than we
Was good.
it was really good. It was really good. Sam ordered a meat dish that he didn't understand what it was at all and knocked it out. But it was
You're always learning. You're always learning.
today you learn the word oxtail.
I did. I did.
No, it's great. And yeah, it's really cool going into school this morning. We popped in briefly to see the kids on their first day back. Mostly looking very happy to be there. I'm really excited to show off the English that they'd learnt and chat with us and insult us about ages, which was particularly humbling. But no, the facilities are very cool there. Super cool to be in the studio too, recording this. So.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I told to I always say to students, our students, because we said we're going to start this podcast, but when this is like supposed to be something like natural.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a podcast. A lot of people watch me, blah blah blah. No, it's fine. Because anyway, the reason we set up this podcast is just like to bring information for the community. And then sometimes they don't know exactly, because sometimes I can meet friends like very, friends from long time. Oh, I didn't know about your project. Another day he was on TV. Oh, William, yeah, well, you're doing well, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, been doing this like for the past more than 10 years, 14 years actually. But sometimes, yeah, we don't have the opportunity to, show, to spread out the words and tell people what we are doing here. But yeah, but we are also open to the community, if they want to come, different organizations in the community, if they want to come and, use our facilities. So it's open. So we can have a chat and fit and see what they would be better to, for them to do their podcast as well. But yeah, it's a pleasure because, at least like, okay, we are doing this one specifically because of the fundraising and because you're here, of course, like after, 8 years. Yeah, Wheeler, you said, Wheeler, gonna be in a few days. Oh, yeah, but you're gonna be on our podcast. Of course,
It's the
because
least we can do.
yeah, because it's interesting when we talk, when, like you, like people sometimes think, I'm gonna go there volunteer. Of course, some people comes and never more we
Yeah.
heard about them. But that is that's why we set up this project. You don't want people just to come, spend some time and then disappear. You want to keep in touch. Anyway, as I said, like when you get together, and make the things like stronger, and sometimes like if you in England you have a friend or you meet someone, you are talking and someone say, "Ah, I want to go abroad for short time or for a long time." Yeah, go to BHZ Connection. What's it about? Yeah, it's a project to work with kids, blah blah blah. So and then because anyway the name is Connection, BHZ Connection, so it can keep connecting and spread out, and then not just in the community but spread out the words around the world,
Yeah.
what we are doing here. So and then it's a pleasure, having you both here. It's a pleasure for us, even more for the kids. Right now, maybe you won't see none of the ones in your time, but
Because they're adults now. You
yeah,
like to keep telling me
they
they're
are
adults
good.
now.
But now we have a program to keep them here,
Yeah.
as you can see. You have this like focus on social media, doing the graphic design and work with video make, even with the podcast. So we want to prepare them, for when they are ready to work.
Yeah.
No, even like before doing, it could be like in Brazil, we have what's the name in English? Is there is some course? It's it- it's not like university course by
Apprenticeship?
No, I forgot the name. It's technical course.
Yeah.
So you can do some technical course which can prepare you. Now you became like, expert in this area, and afterwards you can still, do university, but it's something like takes you for another level.
Yeah.
So be able to at least like have a good wage, you don't be not gonna be struggling, working too much and not get paid enough. So it's not just about, getting paid, but
Yeah,
it's about like the way you can see life,
and having a career as
a
well.
good career, and you could see, okay, if I want to study this now, I can study, I can carry on doing this. Anyway, so but anyway, again, it's a pleasure to have you both here.
Thank you so much for having us. Sam was insistent that we came back when we were planning our trip around South America. So thank you very much.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we are about to finish this live. So is anything else you wanna remember we're not talking about?
I think just to say, kind of, I know I said it earlier, but just how important it is to kind of for people to support the organization in any way they can, whether it's donations or support or partnerships, or as you say, if people think they might be able to help, they should reach out to you, because it's not always the obvious way. The money helps,
Yeah.
and we need the money to kind of
Yeah.
progress the project. But however you think you might be able to help, and whether that might be small or big, people should reach out, because ultimately this is an incredible community that's an incredible community anyway in Alta Veracruz, this part of Belo Horizonte, but it's an incredible community that you've built as well around BHZ Connection and the people helping produce the podcast now. And the rest of kind of the community that work on BHZ Connection have really pulled together, but they need the help of those people who are listening and watching to keep taking it further. And the opportunity for these children to go to travel to Brazil is not just an opportunity, as we've already spoken about, for schools in England and students in England to learn, but it's an opportunity of a lifetime for the children here to have all those doors that we spoke about opened for them and kept open for them to decide what their future is. So I think, yeah, just to kind of say to continue supporting the organization, if you're listening or watching, every little helps, as some supermarkets say in England.
Good. The team forgot the water for you. They just the team need to we learn.
It's a very slick operation.
But the team need to be more attention, because I put myself, I brought my water here and put here, but then I just, well, they don't have water, man.
It's okay. There's air conditioning in here, and after a week in Rio with no air conditioning, we're happy.
Yeah, that's good. That's
And we
good.
got stash. So.
Okay. Right. So guys, yeah, so let me tell you, and then again, so if you arrive now on this live, so I want to tell you that the aim of this live is about our fundraising, ok? Se você estiver chegando agora, o objetivo dessa live é a nossa campanha, a arrecadação de fundo para o nosso intercâmbio em outubro de 2024, ok? Se você quer ser um parceiro, se você quer participar, contribuir para que nós consigamos levar 6 alunos para o Reino Unido no intercâmbio em outubro, ok? Você pode ir no nosso Instagram, lá na bio, tem lá o link para a página da campanha, ok? So if you arrive now, if you want to be a partner, if you want to support this project, this cultural exchange in October 2004, so the link is on our Instagram. You can go on the bio, click there, and gonna take you to the page, okay? So anyway, if you can help by donating, share with your friends, tell your friends. If you have a big group of people, on your, I don't know, on your work, or you contact, so share with them. Don't be shy. Feel free, no problem. Okay. We thanks BHZ Connection. Thanks you a lot. So we're about to finish because we have someone wanna go home. she She arrived early. I couldn't believe, man, Natalia would be here early. But she arrived on time. She worked until now, you know. She was she was teaching the kids. She's doing well. But now I need to help her because she needs to go home. But yeah, guys, so thank you, Samuel. Thank you so much. Thank you, Matilda. The last considerations you wanna say to people, you know?
Just to say thank you to you and thank you to everyone here for kind of welcoming me back and welcoming Matilda as well.
Good.
It's brilliant to be back, and I look forward to coming back again in the future to see
Cool.
kind of how much more progress can be made as well.
Yeah. Next time you come back, probably we have some change, you know,
Yeah,
because we
definitely.
need always to improve. We need to, make sure like you're not gonna be stuck. It's okay. We don't need anything. No, we need to improve. We need to always trying to get better. And yeah, I think we are on the right track.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
we'll see.
Então, muito obrigado também de nós.
You're welcome.
Thank
Seja
you very much.
bem-vindo. Ok, pessoal, então essa live está terminando, ok? Clique aí no sininho, que se for no Instagram, mas clique aí, curte as nossas lives, se inscreva também, se inscreva aí no nosso canal no YouTube, nós precisamos de mais pessoas, entendeu? Vamos lá, porque nós queremos, na verdade, contribuir para uma educação melhor para crianças e adolescentes, não só do Alto Vera Cruz, mas de toda a região aqui em Belo Horizonte, ok? Muito obrigado e valeu! Thank you very much.